Well, good day to you and welcome to FEFT and more. Yes, you know, I'm Charles. If you didn't know, hello. Nice to meet you. I am Charles, and these are tips from me to you to help with your English fluency. Here we go with pronunciation tips today. These tips are going to be about the reduced and in sentences and phrases and different communications. As you know, and is a helping word, and it connects many different subjects together, and it's a and it's a good word to know. However, it can be overused or overemphasized when not needed, so I want to touch on that point just a little bit today. This video is about the reduced and, A-N-D. Look at a few sentences here. They're very short and simple, but I think they will be easy for you to understand and use. So let's go right on with this. Oh yes, please do tell a friend about these video tips, English fluency tips, and do subscribe. What does it go, this way or that way? Subscribe, give us likes, and don't forget to turn on your notifications so you'll be getting more of these fun tips. Okay, on with today's reduced and. Please listen. Mr. and Mrs. Jones. With a reduced and, we would say Mr. and Mrs. Jones. And it becomes n. You see, the A and the D are slashed out on this screen, aren't they? That's because you don't use them in the pronunciation. That was one phrase. Let's go to another one. Mr. and Mrs. Park. Of course, you write Mr. and Mrs. Park, but we say it Mr. and Mrs. Mr. and n. Now, don't say the N way back in the back of your mouth, but with the end of your tongue. N. Mr. and Mr. and D is deleted. Mr. and. Okay, let's go. Mr. and Mrs. Park. Now let's go to a shorter one. Jim and Pam. Do you know Jim and Pam? Do you know Jim and Pam? Jim and Pam. Jim and Pam are my friends. Be nice if you got to know them. Jim and Pam. So Jim and Pam becomes Jim and Pam. Here's another one, not so easy to say, but it's very commonly said this way. You and Ben becomes you and Ben. You and Ben. There's another one here, Mr. and Mrs. Lee. Mr. and Mrs. Lee is written Mr. and Mrs. Lee, but we say that, Mr. and Mrs. Lee. Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Lee are coming over today, for example. Here's another. Walter and Mary are coming over this afternoon. Walter and Mary are coming over this afternoon. Walter and Mary are coming over this afternoon. I'm not saying that so fast, just saying it all connected together. Walter and Mary are coming over this afternoon. Walter and Mary are coming over this afternoon. There are other reduced sounds in there too, aren't there? But right now we're talking about the and. So get the and down to n. Here's another one. Jim and I. Jim and I. Jim and I becomes Jim and I. Jim and I. Okay, how did you do there? Are you and your friends enjoying these English fluency tips? You and your friends. You and your friends. I'm glad you are. Please come around for the next one, and do have a great day. Tell a friend, subscribe, give us likes, and turn on your notifications, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye now. Yes, and please do take care.